Question: how legal it is for lawyers to do touting? Because I was looking at something about touting in the South African law regarding lawyers touting. Touting, basically, it's a lawyer that sits outside a court or a police station, and then if you are brought in without a lawyer, they come to you and say, hey, my name is Clantis, I'm a lawyer and I can represent you, all that sort of stuff. Apparently that is illegal. And I did find something here under what is the Legal Practice Act touting. Under the new Legal Practice Act, the Code of Conduct for Attorneys stipulates that attorneys may not buy instructions from or directly or indirectly reward or give other consideration to a third party, in brackets, touting. The reason why I'm asking about this, is it possible that this Giaco was touting and then one of the cop, we know who, or we think we know who, went to him and said, we have a client that we need you to represent, but this is what you need to tell him in order for the confession to become credible? I'm just asking. Me and my two IQs being rubbed, and then I thought, isn't touting a criminal offense in South Africa done by lawyers? They are not allowed to do that. But anyways, I was looking for this Mjako. I was searching. I went to LinkedIn. I went everywhere. Is it even real? Is it real? Because the only Mjako that I found, let me not mention his name, but I did find Mjako, who's also a lawyer. But no, I don't think that's him at all. I don't think so. It's a totally different Mjako. But anyways, who am I to know all of these things? Only the lawyers can ask these questions. But anyways, let's get into the video. Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into the video. But before we get into the video, smash me the like button, because guys, it is happening. We are growing. We are very few subscribers away to hitting 11,000. So let's go for it, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. You are warmly welcomed. If you are a new member of the clan, you are warmly welcome. Thank you so much. So let's get into the my goodness, what's going on with me? Let's go to the North Gauteng High Court at the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Right now, we are in the process of a trial within a trial, focusing on accused number 2, that is Bongani Ntanzi. And you know what? In this video, I just want to do it a little bit different. You guys already know the mess that is happening at that court at the behest of the judge, who is now, I think, he's feeling the heat somewhere, somehow, because he has created an environment where himself is entangled and is trying to untangle things. And then as a result of trying to untangle things, he becomes a bully to the defense, who has now garnered some strength against him or standing up against him, especially with the new advocate. I am loving advocate Ngomezulu so far. I think indeed he reminds me so much of advocate Baloyi. Their spirit, their calmness, and their sneakiness, I like it, because Ngomezulu saw right through advocate Baloyi. And advocate Baloyi, I would not say that I was surprised at what advocate Baloyi did. And I'll tell you why I was not surprised at what advocate Baloyi did by ambushing the defense. Yesterday, advocate Baloyi said he has no intentions of using the audio recording of Miss Vivian Cronje. And then he comes this morning and then he drops a bombshell and says, actually, after hearing the audio recordings of Mr. Ntanzi making a confession, I am now going to use these recordings in my prosecution, or in this particular case, which is a trial within a trial. I'm not quite sure what he heard in there and what he thinks he's going to get out of this, because if you remember very well, to me, advocate Baloyi sounded like a person who admits that he doesn't have a case. He admits that his case has been weakened a long time ago, and now he just found a piece of meat in this dry bone that is called a trial within a trial, or the confession of accused number 2. He is now holding on to that bone and is busy like munching away. But this meat is dry as hell, and he's now trying to lubricate it with his saliva, and that is why he did what he did by coming and pulling the carpet under the defense fit once again. But at the same time, I'm thinking, that was a clever move by Lloyd there, telling the court that you are not going to use the recordings in your prosecution. However, you knew very well that by saying that to the court, it's going to throw off the defense. The defense is not going to see any point. They will not see a point in listening to these recordings if the state is not going to use it in the trial, within the trial. And then now they are caught with their pants down and like, whoa, wait, no. The state yesterday said this morning they come and ambush us and tell us that they are now going to be using this tape. Of course, they are not prepared. They are not prepared to cross-examine the witness on the basis of this statement. Why? Because not that statement now of the tape that Ms. Cronje made for her personal use. And then there came Advocate Baloyi talking about Communications Act 36 of 2005, I think something like that. I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comment section. You guys know that we are no experts, we are no lawyers, we are no judges. We are just the members of the clan who are self-appointed experts who also have ears, brain, and a mouth. And that is why we make these comments. And this very channel is a commentary channel. It is not the court of law. It's not law school. It is not chambers or a lawyer's office. This is a commentary channel. Get it through your thick skull. To those that are sitting at the back. Yes, you, yeah, and you too. Sit down. Yeah, sit down. I hope you heard me. Thank you very much. So anyways, guys, I just thought let me make this video a little bit different because I got questions. I got questions to Ms. Cronje that I hope that the defense are going to ask her regarding everything that has transpired thus far. I keep hearing people say, no, this Ms. Cronje person, she told what she could and then they believed her. I must be honest as well, there are a lot of parts that I believe her that transpired during her time with Ntanzi. However, there are so many discrepancies as well that I felt, this does not sit well in my head. Let's try and iron that. And I'm hoping that the defense are going to pose these questions that I'm going to ask. And I've got notes, y'all, because I was asking these questions while I was busy listening. And I'm like, no, wait a minute. Let's play the judge's game here through this witness, because the judge... Anyways, let me not talk about the judge because the judge, he knows how to push buttons, that one. He pushed my buttons today and I thought, you're not going to win, devil. Not today. Not today. So let's get to the questions that I was asking myself, that if I was a defense lawyers, especially Ngome Zulu, these are the questions I'm going to pose to Ms. Cronje. So if you see me looking down, I'm actually reading these questions because I want to ask them exactly the way I would have asked them. Again, it was also not for me, just to close this part of my video, I was also not surprised that Advocate Baloyi did what he did this morning to ambush the defense because he knows that he still needs time. If you remember Advocate Mnisi telling the court that it is not going to be embarrassing for the state to ask for a very long adjournment. So now this sneaky Advocate Baloyi, he's like, no, I don't have to necessarily ask for a long adjournment. All I have to do is ambush the defense. And every time the defense is ambushed, they are definitely going to request for what? An adjournment, so that they can go and do what? Study the new material that the defense keeps dropping in drips and drabs, and also reducting statements and things like that, and also coming and saying, oh, we decided that we're going to use the tape, and then knowing fully well that the defense did not listen to the tape together with their clients. And so, of course, what they're going to do, they're going to ask for postponement. While they ask for postponement, guess what Baloyi does in the background? He is able to try and salvage a case that died a long time ago. He's busy resuscitating it, and because I'm telling you, in that 4 hours that they were gone, Advocate Baloyi was busy with whoever he's busy with, together probably with what do you call these people again? candidate attorneys that are busy tapping away looking for case laws that they are going to feed to the judge as well as to Baloyi. That is why now you hear the judge going, well, according to this case law, State versus Chabalala, or according to this case law, State versus Basson, the death doctor. All of that stuff is done by who? It's done by these candidate attorneys that, hey, we need to save the state. We need to save the judiciary's image because this judge has messed up the image of the judiciary, and Mr. Baloyi has messed up the criminal justice system in terms of the image of the National Prosecuting Authority, and these police themselves, they have messed up the investigations from the very start. So we need to salvage all of this by being what? Sneaky. By being sneaky. And Advocate Mgomezulu saw right through it, and he tried, shame. He tried to, I think his direction was going straight to the judge and say, Judge, you are the one that is creating this environment of the state doing as it pleases and not following the Criminal Procedure Act, the processes of discovery, the processes of a pre-trial where he hands over every document, every recording, everything that he has in his possession so that their clients will experience a fair trial. But no, this judge is not interested in a fair trial. He keeps saying, yeah, I don't want people to say, Lily judge. What are we supposed to say, Lily judge? About you are the one who's creating this environment. Unfortunately. But anyways, these are the questions that I would ask Magistrate Vivian Cronje. As a person who's experienced for this long, these are the questions I'm going to ask her. I would have asked her. Okay, I'm not a lawyer. I would have asked her. So before I go on, I repeat, Advocate Baloyi does not have a case. His case died a long time ago. It died from Zandile Khumalo. It was gone. Zandile Khumalo was coming with different, testimonies about what had happened in the house. One moment she said she was a bathroom popoling, and the next she is next to she's in the kitchen also beating the suspect with a gun. Like, where are you in the house exactly, Ms. Zandile Khumalo? We are popon. What's going on? So definitely Advocate Baloyi is fighting tooth and nail to save whatever little that is left. If it's life going away, he's trying to bring it back. Like, come back, check, come back. Okay, I'm just being silly. So the first question that I would ask Ms. Cronje is, ma'am, were these confessions done freely and voluntarily? Of course, she's going to say, yes, they were. So this is what I said. If she responded with a yes, I said, there is no way for this experienced magistrate would fail to determine that a supposedly first-time offender is brought to her by a police officer armed with heavy arms it is not tantamount to intimidation and possible torture. That to me would be very strange. And the second question that I would have asked her is, how is it possible that the deponent tells her that he has been detained for 8 days, has not been to court, has not taken a bath, and not given a chance to call his family and child? Will that not be a form of torture? And the third question I hope she would be asked is it legal or procedural for a person of her caliber to record a South African citizen with constitutional rights and not inform him that she is recording the process? The fourth question would be, considering that she is a magistrate in the East Rand, is she a neutral person or the best person that they could have found in the East Rand to sit and take down this confession? Okay, we are back. I forgot it was load shedding at 6. So if I was the defense lawyer, I would actually have asked Ms. Cronje, as a magistrate in the East Rand, is she a neutral person to have sat in the confession of accused number 2? And if she says she was or she is a neutral person, I would want to know how. How would she be a neutral person to sit in this type of process as a magistrate in the East Rand? Or maybe she was just being subordinate to Ms. Duplessis, who is the senior prosecutor in the East Rand. And the other question I would ask her if I was the defense lawyer would be, where are the names of the police officers that had brought Bongani Ntanzi to her, as she had requested that they be furnished to her? And if they say they don't have it, or she does not have it, or they did not give it to her, I would ask her if she does not find that a little strange. Why would a battalion of police officers bring one man to her, and then when she asks for processes to be followed, they disappear? I definitely want to know, doesn't she find that a little bit amiss? Probably my last question will be to Magistrate Vivian Cronje. Do you not find it strange that after a person has made a confession and every box is ticked by her, the magistrate's court that has been processing or listening to this accused person who now has made a confession, wouldn't that same magistrate either sentence the accused or transfer the accused to the High Court for sentencing or appropriate sentencing, considering that he has confessed? Yes, I do get the fact that a trial within a trial in the High Court is a thing. But I would want to know, is it not strange that after Ntanzi had made a confession to her, that the magistrates that has been following or listening to Ntanzi's case would have made a conclusion of sentencing him to, I don't know, life imprisonment, or transfer the case to a higher court to do that appropriate sentencing? I definitely would want to know that from Magistrate Vivian Cronje, if this is not a little bit strange that now the state is trying to salvage its case by having a trial within a trial and bringing her here to this court in order to say that the accused made a confession. And why is this accused now not in prison serving a life sentence, or 25 years in prison, or 15 years imprisonment, or whatever the case is? And why is it that after he made a confession, because clearly he developed a conscience, and then why didn't he turn into a state witness and say, well, I am willing to have Senzo Meyiwa and his family served with justice by being a state witness and writing out on the other four men that stand accused with him? And yet he says, I was never the person that killed Senzo Meyiwa. And secondly, that statement that was brought to me under duress. And then before I was brought to Cronje, these are the things that had transpired to me or onto me. I was arrested on the 16th of June and I was brought to Cronje on the 24th of June. I have never seen a magistrate, haven't bathed for 8 days, haven't spoken to my family in all of these days that I have been incarcerated illegally at this point in time, because he was not charged within 48 hours. All of these things I would want to know from Cronje. How did she proceed with the statement after that? Why did she do due diligence? Is it her practice that she would be brought a person, probably innocent person, and all that she does is just, as long as I've done my job, I covered myself, I'm fine? It cannot be like that. That's not how it's supposed to work like in a constitutional democracy called South Africa. Absolutely, I cannot accept this from Ms. Cronje. I want to know these answers to the questions, and I hope that the defense are going to ask these questions. I know that my questions are a layman on the street, because I am a layman on the street. I'm not a lawyer. If I was a lawyer, probably they would have been much more sophisticated and more legal jargon than how they sound like coming from me. Because you guys, you know, we are self-appointed experts here. We are not qualified for this thing, but we have a brain. And we got comments, we got opinions about what we are witnessing in the North Gauteng High Court in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. We want justice for Senzo Meyiwa. We want justice for the Meyiwa family. We want justice for the people that used to be the fans of Senzo Meyiwa, who are probably still fans of Senzo Meyiwa. We want justice for South Africans, because this could happen to any of us. Absolutely any of us at any given point, and probably many other South Africans are suffering the very same thing because they do not have money and they don't have popularity. And so what they are doing, sitting and rotting in jail for crimes they never committed. Why? Because we have magistrates like Vivian Cronje. Why? Because we got investigating officers like Gininda. Why? Because we got prosecutors like Advocate Baloyi. Why? Because we got judges like Rata Mukhotleng that is sleeping with the state, again figuratively. All of these things need to be fixed. They need to be fixed in this very court. This court needs to be exposed to itself that it is unfair to the people that are accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa. The people that killed Senzo Meyiwa, or one person that killed Senzo Meyiwa, is one of the 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2014. No one else. No one else. I do not understand how we are at this point in time, when this case collapsed on Advocate Baloyi a long time ago. What is this witch hunt all about? That is what I want to know. So those are my questions, guys. I don't know. You can leave me a comment down below and let me know of your own questions. If you were the defense lawyers, what would you ask Vivian Cronje regarding this confession, or so-called confession, or that whole process and all of that stuff? Because I'm sorry, this whole case, we are just watching now. We are just participating. It died, guys. It died on Baloyi a long time ago, and he is desperate. He's desperate, and he's fighting tooth and nail to revive a dead horse. And it's not going to get up. The only person that's going to help him that this case gets up is the judge. And of course, there is Supreme Court of Appeal, and there's also the Constitutional Court. And I think that the Meyiwas themselves need to take it all the way, even civilly. Sue the state, sue everybody that was in the house with Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2014. The truth will come out right there. Nobody will want to fork out millions of rands to the Meyiwas, knowing fully well that they were not involved. They will say, no, I'm not going to be paying for somebody else. This is the person that killed Senzo Meyiwa. They will talk. Sue them, Meyiwas. Lodge a lawsuit right now within this very trial. Within this very trial. Of course, separately, let this trial go on, and you take a civil route. Go sue the 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2014. Do that, and you will see the truth will come out. The truth will come out who killed Senzo Meyiwa amongst the people that were with Senzo Meyiwa, not the people that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa. And I do believe, Mina, I do believe that Ntanzi as well as Sibiya were indeed tortured. I believe Mthokozisi Twala that he was also tortured. I believe the 3 of them. We know how a South African police service work. I believe them. It's just that we have a magistrate who did not give a foot about a man being accused falsely. Yes, I'm going to say it. Falsely. She is just going to do what she needs to do. A paper and a pen, and do what needs to be done and get paid at the end of the day. Whether this man is tortured, and yet she saw all these activities around this man, and she still went ahead and took a statement. This man told her that he has not seen a magistrate or a court. He's been incarcerated illegally for 8 days. He hasn't bathed. He hasn't talked to his family. But no, she continues. Why? Because she doesn't give a rat's tail about him. And she doesn't know who this man is. All that she cares about is doing her job and continuing with life. That's it. So that's how I feel about Miss Cronje. Everything else that she has said, I think it did transpire. But where she went wrong is when she did not listen to the suspect, what the suspect was saying to her. And I think she did wrong there. She was supposed to say, I cannot continue with this man. He has not been to court. How come he has not been to? Is he even charged? Is he even charged? She didn't ask those questions. As a magistrate, that is your duty to ask those questions, but you did not do that. Sue the state Meyiwa family. Sue the 6 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa. You are suing the state for messing up with Senzo Meyiwa's investigations. That's what you are going to do. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that is super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you guys so very much. Do leave a comment down below once again, and also share this video far and wide. And also, guys, do like other YouTubers' videos and also subscribe. See you next time with a new video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.